Hello, my friends, and welcome back for another episode of Wake Up and Barça, coming to you live from the Undefeated Mustache John YouTube channel. Welcome to the culés from around the world. In today's episode, we'll be talking about Barcelona's fortunate win against Sevilla. Sergio Ramos doing us a favor on that one. And we will take a look up ahead to our Champions League clash against Porto. We'll go over the big news around the new contract for Lamine Yamal and whatever else comes up conversationally. We're going to cover it all here on today's episode. Live Barcelona news every episode for Wake Up and Barça. We have a little bit of caffeine. We have some good conversation, and we get coverage on the Barcelona news of the day coming out of the camp now. So if you want to participate in the conversation, subscribe to the channel, participate in the chat, connect with your culés, ask questions, give your opinions. That's what we do here on this channel. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
Yes, indeed. We are live, and we are going to start with our match review, and then we'll get into Barcelona-Porto preview here in just a little bit. But we're going to discuss the win over Sevilla, 1-0, again, thanks to Sergio Ramos. A good effort there, of course, from Lamine Yamal. We'll talk about his contract here later in the episode, but let's start off with the overview. 18 shots, 4 on target. Could have done better. Could have done better. Looking at you, Lewandowski. Looking at you, João Felix. We'll talk more about that in the good, the bad, the Barça. But Barcelona did have 59% possession. Only 467 passes. That is very low. Sub 500 for Barcelona is rare. So an indicator there that we might not be fully clicking on all cylinders. Another one, 86% passing accuracy. You want to see that up around 89, 90%. That's how you know we're seeing Barcelona football. So no surprise there that we didn't get as many goals as we could have, but we did get what we needed. 1-0. Sergio Ramos helping us out, like I said, puts us in second place after Real Madrid defeat then first place Girona, putting themselves at the top of the table, and Sevilla dropped down to 14th. Up next for Barcelona is going to be Porto in the Champions League, of course. But before we get into that match preview, we are going to get into the good, the bad, the Barça. We'll discuss the details. We'll give out the match awards, including the Mustache Man of the Match. Speaking of, the poll is live right now. If you're watching this on replay, let me know down in the comments who you think should get the Mustache Man of the Match. But if you're watching live, go ahead and respond to the poll. I think you got a few different options there. Let me peek at it and see where we're at with the votes. You can go for Yamal, Ter Stegen, Sergio Ramos, or Gavi. Right now, Gavi is leading the way. Get your votes in. And again, if you're watching this on replay, let me know down in the comments, and we'll keep the conversation going. Hello, Harry. Hello, Ahmed. Remember, participate in the chat. I love to hear your comments. Ask your questions. Give your opinions. Love to connect with you. While we're doing that, or while you're getting your comments in the chat, I'm going to go ahead and jump on over, get things going with the good, the bad, the Barça. You know how we like to do things here. We talk about what was good about the match, what was bad about the match, what was Barça, meaning what represented the badge, the Barcelona DNA, what really showed the Blaugrana to be proud. And then we'll give out the Mustache Man of the Match. So, beginning with what was good about the match. We got a few different things here, starting with João Felix. Didn't score, but he's getting in the right position. He's creating chances. Hit the post again. Probably should have done better with that one. All right, we all can admit that. Probably should have done a little bit better, but he's getting there. He's gelling. He's building the chemistry. Right place, right time. Got to work on that finishing. All right, that'll get you from good to Barça box to Mustache Man of the Match. All right, but for right now, good performance, and good to see that the attitude, the mentality is still there for João Felix. So he gets himself a good box along with Christensen. I know some of you are looking at the back four and you're saying, you know, who's the preferred back line, and you're overlooking Christensen. I know you're saying it's Balde, it's Kunde, it's Araujo, it's Cancelo. Don't overlook Christensen, okay? He's got something to say here. His passing in particular is phenomenal. One of the top in Europe, inarguable. So for his performance against Sevilla, helping out with getting the clean sheet, gets himself a good box along with Alejandro Balde. Not so much for the defensive performance, which was good, but the fact that he regained his confidence, regained his what's the word I want to say? Assertiveness on the ball, dribbling past opponents. Last couple of matches, you weren't seeing it. Against Sevilla, it returned. Balde, a speed demon, can cut inside, can keep it outside on the wing. You need to have that, and we saw it against Sevilla, so he gets himself a good box. The fourth and final good box today goes to Gundogan. His first chance playing in the pivot for this La Liga season. A highly prestigious, a highly stressful role. Very demanding for Barcelona. Filling the boots of the legend, Sergio Busquets. It ain't easy. Just ask Romeo. Gundogan gets his chance. He does it perfectly. So for that performance in the pivot role, Gundogan does get himself the good box. Well done, Gundogan. And like I said, Felix, Christensen, Balde also getting themselves a notice in the good category. Let's jump on over then. I hate to do it, but whoops, a little too early. Hang on. Whatever you knew that was coming anyway. Wrong button. It happens. Today, now we're going to jump over and talk about what was good. I need to slow down. Too much coffee, but let's keep going anyway. Slow things down. Take a breath. I'm a little bit congested. You can hear it. It's okay. We're going to get through it. We're going to get through it, folks. Let's talk about what was bad. I just got a couple of things for our 1-0 win over Sevilla. First one, Lewandowski. I hate to pick on you, but if you're watching, it seems forced. It seems like he's trying a little bit too hard. It's not coming easy to him right now. He's having to get way away from position where he can be in front of goal, have that poacher's mentality, play around in the box a little bit more. We're seeing him struggling. We're seeing Lewandowski not at his best. All right. I know some of you have been criticizing him earlier on, and I was kind of hesitant to do so. But I'm starting to see signs that maybe he's not really building the chemistry with the other players like some others that have joined in. We're seeing Lamine Yamal. We're seeing Fermin Lopez. We're seeing Gundogan. We're seeing these players come in that are gelling, that are building chemistry, but not so much with Lewandowski. So I need to see him pick it up. I need to see him do it just a little bit better. But he does get himself one of the bad boxes for his performance against Sevilla. Passing, his touch, got to work on it. Got to sharpen up just a little bit. All right? Now, the second bad box, I already spoiled it a little bit, but you should see it coming. It's the Raphinha injury. Terrible news, terrible timing. Raphinha, my goodness, poor luck. The red card, of course, was his fault, but by being suspended for a couple of matches, it gave Lamine Yamal the opportunity to come in, stole his starting position, arguably on that right wing. Now Raphinha gets bumped down to an attacking midfielder position while we have Frankie and Pedri out, and it's looking like, man, Raphinha maybe found himself a new position here. Maybe he can slide into that starting 11 along with Lamine Yamal. But no, he pulls a hamstring, and who steps up? Fermin Lopez, and has arguably man of the match performance. That's tough. So Raphinha's going to be out for who knows how long now with a hamstring injury. And by the time he's recovered, by the time he's ready to hit the pitch again, who knows where he'll fall on the depth chart. Very competitive spots for Barcelona on that right wing, in the midfield, wherever Raphinha may land when he returns. Might be sliding on that depth chart. So bad that he's injured. Bad on a personal level that who knows what kind of playing time he's going to get when he gets back. Either way, the injury for Raphinha gets the bad box this time around. Let's shake that off. Let's jump over and talk about what was Barça. That means what represented the badge. You can see on the backdrop, the Capitan of all Capitans, Carles Puyol, kissing the badge. That's the kind of mentality, that's the kind of effort, that's the kind of performance that we're looking for with these Barça boxes. All right. It represents the Barcelona DNA. Does us proud. And we got 4 boxes this time around. We're beginning with Fermin Lopez. Already mentioned. Filling in for Raphinha. Had to come off just before halftime due to a hamstring injury. And maybe his best performance, didn't get a goal, didn't get an assist, but maybe his best performance top to bottom was turning defenders left and right, leaving them in his dust. The passing was there. The vision was there. The composure was there. He did have one opportunity there where I believe it was João Cancelo, or maybe it was Ferran Torres, fed him in, and just a little mishit from Fermin Lopez. But still, young man, but he's a big boy doing big things. Loved what I was seeing in his match against Sevilla. Gets himself one of the Barça boxes, along with his fellow teenager, Lamine Yamal. Quiet first half, but really came alive in the second half, forcing that mistake from Sergio Ramos, getting the own goal, putting Barcelona on the board, getting the 3 points. And I'll say, Lamine Yamal, one of the scariest wingers to defend one-on-one. He'll take you inside. He'll take you outside. He'll spin you around. Lamine Yamal, very dangerous man, very good performance, a Barça performance against Sevilla. Gets himself a Barça box. The Culés in the stadium at Montjuïc get themselves the 3rd Barça box. The crowd was loud. The crowd was proud. We were singing and dancing and chanting for the whole 90 minutes plus stoppage time. Love the energy, love the passion, love the support from the Culés. So the entire crowd in the stadium gets themselves a Barça box. And the final Barça box, this shouldn't be a surprise, goes to João Cancelo. Amazing performance. Talk about turning around defenders left, right, inside, outside. You couldn't stop him. He was everywhere. The defensive side as well. Top performance for João Cancelo. Gets himself the Barça box. I am loving this dude. I think he'll maybe get rested against Porto. We're going to be talking about that next. But what a performance against Sevilla for João Cancelo. Gets himself the Barça box, and that was only topped by the youngster, Gavi, who gets himself the mustache man of the match. This young man, in a matter of matches, has grown up leaps and bounds. His composure has grown. His mentality has sharpened. You can see that he's not just throwing his body in recklessly. He's controlled, but it's a controlled chaos, and I love it. He's holding off defenders. He's getting stuck in on tackles. He's supporting his teammates. Future captain here in Gavi, and we are seeing tremendous performances. And he earns himself the mustache man of the match for his performance against Sevilla. Again, 1-0 to the Blaugrana. Gundogan gets the good. Raphinha's injury gets the bad. Cancelo gets the Barça box. Gavi gets the mustache man of the match. Let me know what your awards would be. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Who would be your mustache man of the match? I'm going to check the poll here, see where we landed. It looks like 75% of you said Gavi, 25% says Sergio Ramos, nobody going for Yamal, nobody going for Ter Stegen. I appreciate everyone who participated in that. Again, let me know down in the comments if you're watching on replay. I would love to know your thoughts. Let's see who else jumped in the chat here. I see we got Connor. I see we got Lovisa. Forza Barça is with us, as well as Ahmed. Hello, hello. Lovisa says, Gavi has been our best player for the last couple matches. Amen to that. Got himself, I think, the Barça box in the last match. Got himself the mustache man of the match this time around. Excellent performance. Really, you can't ask for much more from Gavi. Playing great football. You love to see it. Now, we do have the match upcoming against Porto. We're going to be talking about that next. I would love to get your thoughts first on the new contract renewal for Lamine Yamal. It says, I'm very happy to have renewed with the club. The road was very long in La Masia. I dreamed of staying here for an additional 3 years in the club of my life, and I hope to do the best for Barca. It does, of course, put him in the €1 billion buyout club. That includes Ansu, Fati, Gavi, Pedri, Araujo, and now the young Lamine Yamal. What are your thoughts? How excited are we about this? Lamine Yamal, the future right wing, you got to say, has nudged Raphinha, I'll say, out of that position. Maybe not forever, but temporarily. Gotta give it to Lamine Yamal. So what's your reaction to that €1 billion buyout? Are we excited about the extension? What else? That's about it. We'll get some comments in, and then we'll turn to the match against Porto, do a little match preview. We'll go over the lineups, we'll talk predictions, and then we'll get your comments in. Daniel, how we doing? Welcome. Ahmed says, the more we get young players that can play like Fermin is amazing. Amen to that. Was Barca says, when is Pedri back? I think it's still going to be a couple of weeks. He is in training, but not with the team, working on that personal fitness. So, got to be patient. Mohammed says, give Gavi the captain's armband already. Top mentality, best attitude, always available and never injured. GOAT already. Knock on wood around that injury. But yeah, left wing, midfield, double pivot, doesn't matter. You can slide Gavi anywhere. He's going to give you the same type of performance. Ahmed asking the chat how you ended up supporting Barcelona. That's a question for everyone watching. Go ahead and respond to that in the chat if you're watching on replay, down in the comments. How did you become a Barcelona supporter? Great question there from Ahmed. Left back Levi, how we doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to know you're alive and well. I'm doing quite good. Hope you're doing well on the other side of pond. And are you excited about this season? What has been your maybe top players so far, Levi? I'd love to hear your opinions. Says Barca should get the job done against Porto. Should, yes, indeed. And speaking of, I think we can go ahead and jump over and talk about some pre-match insights here. We got 5 of them as always, and then we'll jump over. We'll get into a lineup. We'll talk predictions, but let's go ahead and begin our match preview for Porto hosting Barcelona. This is going to be tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. Barcelona traveling to Porto. So insight number 1 here. After winning 3 of their first 4 meetings with Barcelona in all competitions between 72 and 85, Porto have lost each of their last 4 against them, including all 3 in the Champions League. We're going to look to continue that streak, even though we are playing away from home in a tough atmosphere. Number 2 here. This is the first Champions League meeting between Porto and Barcelona since 99-2000. Wow. Barcelona winning 4-2 at home and 2-0 away in the second group stage. It's the first meeting between the sides in any competition since Barcelona's 2-0 win in the 2011 UEFA Super Cup. So have not played Porto in a while. Surprised by that, but we're going to get back to it. Going to get back to action. Number 3 here. Of these 6 different Spanish teams that Porto have faced in the Champions League, Barcelona are the only one who they are yet to beat in the competition. 3 defeats in 3 meetings for Porto. Let's go. Keep that up. Number 4 of 5 here. Barcelona's last trip to face a Portuguese side in the UEFA Champions League ended in a 3-0 defeat at Benfica in September of 21 under Ronald Koeman. Prior to that, Barcelona had been unbeaten in their first 5 away games against Portuguese opposition in the competition, all under different managers: Van Gaal, Rijkaard, Guardiola, Villanova, and Valverde. So we got a little bit of making up to do in that regard. Don't like taking a trip down memory lane to 2021 with Ronald Koeman. Not good times. Not good times at all. 5th and final fact here going into the match. FC Porto could win their opening 2 games of the UEFA Champions League campaign for the first time since 2012-2013. However, they have lost their first home game in the group stage in each of their last 2 campaigns against Liverpool and Club Brugge. Interesting stat there, actually. So most of those stats are in Barcelona's favor. Again, there's lies, damn lies, and statistics. Okay, you can take the narrative however you want. You could say Porto are due. You could say Barcelona are going to continue their winning ways. Could go either way, my friends. Who knows? But we're going to talk about a lineup. We're going to talk about predictions. And I'd love to keep the conversation going. Again, ask your questions. Give your comments. Give your opinions in the chat. If you're watching on replay, do that down below. And before we get into Barcelona's predicted lineup against Porto, I want to give a little shout out to the hottest Barcelona merch store there is. Barca merch store BARÇAmerch.com, BARÇAmerch.com, you can get this Gavi t-shirt. I got it in blue. It's also available in red. You can support the mustache man of the match with this wonderful t-shirt. Again, BARÇAmerch.com. Use code STASHSQUAD10 at checkout. Get yourself 10% off your order. It's available in red. It's available in blue. If you're getting ready for winter, getting ready for fall, we got sweatshirts, we got hoodies. Check out this one, $18.99 Barça football, gorgeous. You want something in black? Got it for you. $18.99 with a little vintage logo there. Check it out, BARÇAmerch.com for all the coolest gear. Check that out. With that out of the way, I think it's time, folks. I think it is time to jump on over, talk about Xavi's lineup going up against Porto. We start from the back. Of course, it's going to be Ter Stegen. Once we get into Copa del Rey, some lesser La Liga matches, that's when you'll start to see Inaki Peña slide in there. But for these big matches, you know it's going to be the trusty Ter Stegen playing in front of him. I'm going Balde. I'm going Araujo. What? Surprise. Yes. João Cancelo ready for a break. Araujo rested on the weekend. I think he slides in, but I think he slides in at right back because I don't trust Roberto. Cancelo's going to rest. I don't trust Roberto. That leaves Araujo with Christensen and Koundé playing in the middle. I know you could say Araujo plays inside, Koundé plays right back, but I think early in the season, what you saw from Xavi was that he actually prefers Araujo of the two in the right back position. So Cancelo rests, we get Balde, Christensen, Koundé, and Araujo, the back line from last year, but we swap Araujo and Koundé. Playing in front of him, no Pedri, no Frankie. I think we go Romeu, who was mostly rested, got a few minutes there against Sevilla, but mostly rested. So I think he holds down that pivot spot. And we see Gavi as well as Gundogan playing in front of Romeu. I think we could maybe see either one, Gavi or Gundogan, sharing that double pivot role. This is going to be a tricky match against Porto. We got to make sure that we keep possession and we don't have gaps in that midfield on those counterattacks. So watch out for that. For the front three, I think we might see some rotations, but not in the striker position. It's going to be Lewandowski. I picked on him a little bit in the match review, the good, the bad, the Barça. He did find himself in the bad box, but I think he finds his ways, his goal-scoring ways against Porto. We'll get to predictions in a minute, but Lewandowski will be surrounded by Ferran Torres and Lamine Yamal. I know a lot of you are going to be surprised that I'm not going with João Felix, but I think he's due for a rest. He's been hitting the woodwork a few too many times. Although he's been involved, his sharpness isn't quite there. So let's see if we can maybe give him a little rest, a little motivation, have him start on the bench. And then that means Ferran Torres is on the left with Lamine on the right. So we're going to have, oh, let me drop him down here. There we go. Even things out a little bit. We're going to have Felix. We're going to have Lopez. We're going to have João Cancelo that I think we can primarily rely on off the bench. We're going to have, I think, I'm trying to think predictions-wise. I think we're going to have our way with Porto. I think we get an early goal. I think we boss possession. And I think we get a second and a third. So I'm going 3-0 to Barcelona. I'm going Lewandowski. I'm going Ferran Torres. And I'm going Gundogan. Gundogan, lots of Champions League experience. A crafty veteran. Hasn't really scored much for Barcelona thus yet. But I think he gets one against Porto. Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, Gundogan. 3-0 to Barcelona against Porto. Lock it in. That's my prediction. I'd love to get your thoughts, get your predictions. What do you think about the starting 11? What did I get right? What did I get wrong? What do you think Xavi's going to go with? And predictions-wise, let me know what you think the scoreline is going to be. I'm going 3-0. Again, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, Gundogan. 3 points for Barcelona. What do we think? Levi says, our fixtures for October look really hard. I feel like we have a tough October the last few years. Why not stick Koundé at right back? I really think Koundé prefers to be in the center. Araujo's a little bit more flexible, a little bit more comfortable on that right back, and he has the pace to keep up with Porto out there. Ahmed says, agree, but would love to see Fermin over Gundogan and Felix over Yamal. He's too young to play in big games like Porto. He's good, but he does not have the physicality. Fair point, and maybe we'll see Felix in there and Ferran Torres on the right. I just think with Raphinha out injured, with Felix playing the last, 5 or 6 matches since joining, I think he gets a breather. But could be wrong. We'll see. Levi says, 2 early goals, but they score to make it 2-1, and then we hold on to a 2-1 win. Okay, likely. I could see that happening. Ahmed says 2-1 win, Pepe 2 own goals. I don't know about that. More likely to get a red card, I would say. Was Barca says Balde, Christensen, Balde, Christensen, Araujo, and Koundé is a better lineup, not Araujo at right back. So you're saying Koundé at right back? I agree. That's what we saw all last year. But I think this year, Koundé has had some conversations with Xavi and said, hey, keep me on the inside. Keep me in the center. Novisa says, perfect time to have a live. I'm able to watch from Sweden, even though it's a big time difference. I think we'll win 3-0. Lewandowski with a brace, and then Ferran. Okay, well, glad to have you watching from Sweden. I am mixing up the times, of course. I like to give folks different folks opportunities, I should say, to join us on the live. So I appreciate you. If you are watching on replay, let me know down in the comments what is the perfect time to go live on Mondays and Fridays for Wake Up in Barca. What is your preferred time? And let me know where you're watching from, of course, so I can know the time zone as well. Levi says they won't be high intensity against us, talking about Porto. I don't know. At home, I think they're going to be going for it, but we'll see. We'll see. Would I rather keep Felix or Cancelo? Right now, if I had to decide, I would say Cancelo, just because there's still the option of Abde and Ansu coming back next season. We have more options in the attack than we do in the right back position. So to me, Cancelo is more valuable. But that's just my opinion. Would love to know your thoughts. Would love to know your opinions. Again, if you're watching on replay, let me know down in the comments. I appreciate everyone spending some time with me today. Full disclosure, as you heard, my voice is a little bit raspy. I am feeling a little bit under the weather. I think I'm just a little bit tired. Had a long weekend, a fantastic weekend actually, with some friends down. Got a cabin well, it doesn't matter where we went. You guys don't care. Had a good time with some friends. A little bit tired, a little bit raspy, a little bit under the weather. I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna go probably take a nap. But I hope you all enjoy your day. No live tomorrow, unfortunately. Again, right now I got to prioritize my work schedule so that in the later stages of Champions League, I can make sure that I have some clear times for me to do the live. So no live for the Porto match, but we will do a match recap on Friday. We'll go over the good, the bad, the Barca. Until then, support the badge, support each other. All right, drop a like if you enjoyed today's show. I love you very much. I appreciate you spending time with me. Go out there and have lots of positive interactions, high fives, and hugs for whoever wants them. And I will see you Friday for Wake Up in Barca. Enjoy the match tomorrow. Visca Barca. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride. Mwah.